Hey YouTube, I'm Motor Racing Network Steve Post. We have another great collection of diecast here at PlanBSales.com, and we're going to start right down here with one you've been clamoring for, the Furniture Row Chevrolet. We have Kurt Busch's cars here in North America. That's the good news. The bad news, we don't have them in stock because they sold out. So here's what you need to do. Now, a lot of our local diecast dealers, our friends at the local stores, they have these cars. They ordered them in advance and they got their shipment, so you're gonna need to check with your local diecast dealer. What this does though, when we tell you you need to pre-order something, a lot of times these pre-ordered cars get gone before we even get a chance to put them on the open market. So when we say pre-order, if you were to pre-order the Kurt Busch car, you'd have one. If not, you're going to need to call your local diecast dealer. So when we say pre-order, your local diecast dealer will have this car. Now, we do have the flash coat finish of the Furniture Row Chevrolet, so we certainly have that at PlanBSales.com, and that is available as well. Glad we've got these Kurt Busch cars in. What a year it's been for him in that Furniture Row team. Next, we have Danica Patrick's GoDaddy Cares car available in 1/24 scale. So, you Danica Patrick fans, we have this one in stock and ready to ship to you now. Here is Regan Smith's Nationwide Series car. This is the Goodies Headache Relief Berry paint scheme that they had earlier this year with Regan's autograph on it. Certificate of authenticity as well, and we remind you, make sure always to check and see that there is that certificate of authenticity. Jamie McMurray, a big week, picked up the win at Talladega earlier this week as we tape this. Here is the Bell Helicopter Cessna paint scheme for Jamie McMurray from Earnhardt Ganassi Racing, and the NASCAR Salutes tribute car, Jimmy Johnson's Lowe's Chevrolet in 1/24 scale. And this one, Give Kids a Smile, the 3M car for Greg Biffle. Now, this model that I'm holding in my hand is not autographed. We will have autographed versions of this available as well, so you can certainly order that one up as well. So Greg Biffle rounding out a great collection of 1/24 scale cars that we have here this time. Now we shift to 1/64 scale, and this is one that's going to sell out, so you need to get it, and you need to get it today. The Men of Steel car for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 1/64 scale. We have a pair of Marcus Ambrose Fords, the DeWalt and the Mac Tool cars from Richard Petty Motorsports. How about the Fire Alarm 1/64 scale car for Regan Smith? We have a Tony Stewart Mobile One Chevrolet with smoke above the door. Tony Stewart's Bass Pro Shops car. And another one we're looking at selling out because the Geico Gecko, you know he's popular. Right on the hood of the car, Casey Mears 1/64 scale Geico Ford available now. And that's another one that is probably going to sell out within the next few days, so you certainly need to get your hands on it. So those are the new diecast cars, but stay with us. We've got the post show and answers to your questions coming up now. All right, now it's time for the post show here on the Diecast Review Show, and remember how this works. The questions down below. Feel free to submit your question, and who knows, maybe next week on the show we'll have the answers to your question. Joel Fan 8 writes in, Steve, what is your favorite moment ever in NASCAR? My favorite moment, and obviously we look at this from a personal level, would have been the early 2000s, Ricky Rudd. I was doing his PR for Texaco Havoline with Robert Yates Racing, won the first race with that team at Pocono Raceway, and Pocono, ironically, I'm from Pennsylvania, was my home track. So selfishly and personally, my favorite moment in NASCAR history was that win. Overall, though, there's been so many great moments in NASCAR history that it's really tough to narrow down from a sport perspective what some of my favorite ones are. Next question is from Drew Yaz writing in, what was your favorite win of the year so far? And as we look at it now, this one's pretty simple as well. David Reagan scoring the victory at Talladega earlier this year. We've had David here at Plan B Sales, and just a really good guy, and watching him and his teammate David Gilliland race forward at the end of that race, that was a big win, and I'm glad to see David Reagan win. So that was my favorite win so far this year. Cole Freilich writes in and says, do you think Sprint Cup Series should add a dirt track to the schedule in the future? Okay, Cole, I'm going to answer this in two ways. Me personally, yes, would love it. Absolutely diehard dirt track fan, and yes, I think I would love to see it. reality question, the reality answer of it is I don't see it happening for quite some time, if ever. You just have to look at the size, the scope, the facilities out there, the way this all works, and I'm just not sure it's feasible. We had the Truck Series race at Eldora. That was good. Probably going to go back there again next year, but really, I'm not sure how much bigger it can get from a sprint car perspective. So personally, yes. Overall, I'm not sure if it's realistic to hope for a dirt track race in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series schedule. We love your questions, and stay with us next time here on the Diecast Review Show. On the post show, we'll answer more of them. We love that you guys are getting involved with us here on YouTube. We have the comments below. Feel free to mention your comments here. Follow us on Twitter at Plan B Sales, and we'll keep you informed on what we have. And please get some back and forth conversation going, because we love talking racing and love talking with you race fans out there, and we appreciate the business you do give us.